Catherine, Princess of Wales, finally put months of speculation to bed this week, revealing that the abdominal surgery she had earlier this year discovered cancer.
In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment.
Now, a video announcement, of course, came after masses of theories about the princess's health and whereabouts, which wasn't helped, it has to be said, by a photoshopped image that was released by the royals for Mother's Day. Now there are allegations that employees at a London clinic attempted to access the princess's personal health records. And I think that kind of goes to exactly how insane this whole thing has been. Now, look, I am assuming, and it is a total assumption, that if a healthcare worker is going looking for a personal health record, she's doing so, or he or she is doing so, because they have been induced to do so by someone else. And it's not as though we haven't seen the British tabloid media do this kind of thing before. That's just my theory on the matter. But knowing now what we do know, that they found cancer in Princess Catherine, was all of the conspiracy theory and the carry-on overblown and not needed?
I don't think it was overblown or not needed. I mean, come on, sack the PR team, like far out. That was the biggest mess up of their career. Like, seriously, like, they are the royal family. They are the oldest monarch left on this planet. You would think by now they would know how to manage the media. It was a flop. I do not blame people for going down rabbit holes. One, because we live in an era where you don't know who to trust. Trust has been squandered so many times, not only by the government, but by the media, as well as other institutions. Heck, our neighbours dobbed on us during it. Like, you don't know who to trust. And so a lot of people are invested in the royal family, not because they're celebrities, but because they represent something. They represent an identity, a monarch. They represent something more important to people. Royals are on 24/7, and people genuinely love and care for these people, especially Kate, especially you know, William. Like, they are like the beloved future monarch. And so I don't blame people for the rabbit holes. It was weird. It was very strange. In hindsight, with what has gone on, if her PR team did their job right, she would have had the privacy that she's so desperately asking for here. It could have been avoided, but I think it was inevitable.
Well, I just can't understand, Liz, why they didn't come out in the first place, like they did with King Charles, and say he's had surgery for an unrelated issue. We've discovered cancer, and now he's undergoing treatment. It kills the story before it's even started. It would have seemed to have been pretty straightforward.
It was entirely unnecessary for it to go this way. That's what's so painful about it. If they'd just been a little bit more upfront, a little bit more transparent, not give everyone the whole lowdown, but what really kicked it up was that absolutely botched photo coming out of Buckingham Palace, for crying out loud.
The tweet that she said, oh, it was my fault.
No one
bought that lie.
I've been fooling around on the old Photoshop.
People had every reason to just go, hang on a minute, something weird here is up. And as much as I loved her video, and she seems to be a straight up person, like who had any reason to have anything about Kate? But my question mark now was, why was she alone in that video? I think it quite strange that Prince William wasn't by her side, as one would normally do. Everyone loves that couple together. They've been yearning to see them together again. They did that quick trip to the supermarket where people got a few happy snaps, and that really reassured the public. It would have been good to see them together, even if it was just him sitting there, holding her hand,
still there,
nodding. You know, so I think even this, and again, it probably was the same PR team, has opened a few doors to other questions that people are asking about the status of that marriage, because if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And Buckingham Palace's PR team knows this. They've known it for eons.
You think after Andrew,
I feel like they're just better equipped.
Just very quickly, Joe.
Yeah, no, I think, I completely agree. I think this whole, how dare anyone have speculated about what might have been happening with the royals. If there was no speculation on what happened to the royal family, there'd be no royal family. If they're just like everybody else, we'll become a republic and forget about it. In Tudor times, even speculated. I mean, the monarch's health is a big deal. In Tudor times, even contemplating the health or the death of the king was a punishment. Was a crime of high treason, punishable by death, as Henry VIII proved on a number of occasions. So, you know, you couldn't even say, "Oh dear, the king doesn't look well. I hope he's okay." No, off with your head. The idea that a princess of the realm could just go missing, then you put out that weird photo that is still not been explained.
Or taken down.
And then, you know, if they had just made this statement, it all would have been completely different. I think she's made another statement now because she's been so overwhelmed by the support. So much for all this toxic speculation.
Look,
why didn't they put it to bed earlier?
If nothing else, it's given us something to talk about, and our best wishes are with Princess Catherine, of course.